This is Xbox Cloud Gaming, the beta. That means it's a work in progress. I've been asked to kind of mention that in regards to showing this off. We are on the Microsoft Edge browser, and this is, again, what xCloud used to be, now known as Xbox Cloud Gaming. So in the past, this has been available on Android devices. I've played it, I've done videos. It was briefly on iOS for basically like a testing that I got into and was able to do video there, so that was kind of cool. Now, if you get invited, being an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate member, you can jump in and you can test out Game Pass, the cloud gaming system through Game Pass on your browser. So I will be also showing off iOS in the future. For now, this is just off of my Windows 10 primary device that I use. And we're going to be showing off just how some games are running on it. So keep in mind at this point in time, it's also still using the traditional blades, the Xbox One blades, but in the future it's supposed to be using Series X blades. But yeah, it's just really the entirety of your, basically your system set up for your Game Pass titles, and that's really cool. And I mean, I showed off all the games, but we'll quickly just scroll through it again so that you can see, they've got a lot of titles here across the different generations of Xbox, and that's kind of really exciting. So we're going to kick off with obviously a bit of a classic, and this, I'm using the mouse right now to kind of move through it, but I'd also have the Xbox controller plugged in, so you can see now, and hopefully hearing the clicking. I don't know if that's picking up, but yeah, I can actually use the Xbox controller. Well, you're supposed to use the Xbox controller, but you get the gist of what I'm saying is when you're going through these navigational menus, you can do so with your mouse and keyboard, or you can do this with your controller. So that's actually really, great to see. So we're going to start off with something I think, fairly simple, fairly well loved, Halo the Master Chief Collection. It's my favorite collection of games. So this one makes a lot of sense for me to kind of display initially here. So I do hope you enjoy this kind of, almost like a bit of a preview of this system running and get an idea of how everything is working. And yes, the Jeez, that's loud. This is our competitive multiplayer test for the cloud gaming. And yeah, it seems to actually be alright. I was kind of maybe worried about latency and stuff, but no, this is actually kind of decent, all things considered. I wouldn't say it's necessarily perfect latency-wise, but, I can actually react well enough. Could also just be a mix of me being used to the 120 hertz that I usually play at when it comes to Halo MCC. But yeah, it seems decently responsive to movement, and still actually looks pretty good considering, again, these are Xbox One blades for it, so it's like an 80 at 60. But you can play and actually compete decently well. Probably should have grabbed the VR there, I'm thinking. That's a little bit laggy. So, what's really neat about this particular test of what the service can do is the fact that, not only are you streaming the gameplay and the game to your platform, you're also kind of connecting multiplayer-wise online. So that's like a bit of a double whammy, has to say, in regards to connectivity. So therefore, it's like a double stress test, and that's what I try to do, is find a bunch of games that kind of, test out the service and see what it can do. It's not necessarily like the perfect way to play multiplayer yet, but I'd say this is, fairly decent way to get online and do some competitive matches in MCC. Or other multiplayer games, I suppose, as well. You're just not getting the, the perfect native experience at this time, and they're probably going to continue to work towards it. Okay, I do not want that SMG. They're going to be a BR spawn over here, eh? Kind of cool. I don't think I've really had this one, in rotation yet for matchmaking, so that's kind of neat. This is the first new Halo 3 map in, like, I don't know, since 2008 or something. It's kind of a little bit wild. It's so weird just doing Slayer, though, and not having, like, BR starts. It kind of throws me off a little bit. Like, I'm an easy kill for these guys that do have the BR. I also wonder why these guys are rocking the pistol, because the pistol in Halo 3 is kinda craptacular. Yeah, not much I'm going to be able to do there. But there's a slight bit of latency to kind of what I'm seeing in that. Not bad. Actually, not bad. Major props for them. This is, I definitely see this as being a way forward for gaming at some point. Just streaming stuff like this, having it as an option is so cool. Especially once we get the Series X blades, and maybe they can even give us up to like 120 would be just nuts for this. Oh, like, is that even going to be possible? They need really high bit rates and internet connection speeds. Because for like context, we're only doing, I think it's like 60 and 15 right now, or 80 and 15. Usually we do about 130 and like 30 something megabits, but speeds just haven't been the same for quite a while. Oh. Yeah, AR starts just, oh, it's not my cup of tea. Let's see if we can get a spot where the BR spawns. Again, not familiar with the map because it's new. Like, I did a video showcasing it off as part of the seasonal update, just in like custom games, but I don't think it was in rotation properly then either. But it's not too hard of a map to grasp. I think I kind of got an idea of the lanes and stuff for it. They are really holding that upstairs. Yep, grenade. Gotta wonder why the shotguns are easier to find than, like, regular weapon. Oh, I've got, like, my little shark angry kind of guy here. That's cool. Shark pistol. Yeah, those BRs, if you get one of them against people with ARs, you just, like, completely annihilate them. It's not even the competition. Fear the pink mist. See, I'm trying to not let them get the rocket. Oh, I should have reacted to that guy a little bit better. I'm gonna go after the rockets, right? Yeah, stepped right on that thing and the match is almost over. Oof. Well, at least it's, yeah, we're almost done. See, these guys are doing worse than I am, and they have like a native connection most likely to what they're playing. This is the Halo 3 campaign portion. I thought I'd show this off. And yeah, actually it does seem to have really good movement in regards to latency-wise with the controls. And the picture seems to be fairly good and fairly smooth. Just a little bit of dips here or there, but yeah, it seems to actually be handling this quite well. And this obviously still in MCC.
Sergeant Major, Phantom inbound.
Spread out, you whelps. Find them.
No, I thought I had grenades. Yeah, this is actually fairly solid. Alright, let's switch up and show off the next game on here. This is a pretty good way to play this, though, actually. So this is MLB The Show 21. I thought this would be a good showcase because, you know, the situation around it's really entertaining, with it being a PlayStation, you know, kind of big mega title that's available, like an exclusive from PlayStation that's now available on Xbox, and is now being played through the, you know, Xbox Cloud Gaming. So I thought this might be a fun one to kind of present. And for whatever reason, I guess I am assuming that since this runs off the Xbox One version, that my Series X stuff isn't quite available here or something, or maybe it didn't sync. But yeah, it actually does look pretty good. It does seem a little, again with this one, it seems like a little bit of latency in regards to kind of setting up for hitting stuff. I mean, it's not bad, but you know, for a game that's a little bit more fine-tuned, or what I'm used to being a little bit more fine-tuned, it might impact that. But yeah, it's kind of crazy that you can actually experience this like that. Is it out of the park? Home run! And it's not bad latency, it's just, you know, it's going to take you a second to adjust in this situation. Seems like in general the single player stuff works absolutely fine to, you know, most degrees, but it's just the multiplayer elements, you know, that extra bit of latency kind of makes those a little bit more difficult. Boom! This is Forza Horizon 4. I thought this was a logical choice to kind of show off, just racing game-wise, and, well, it seems like every single time I go and do a video of showing off, you know, in the past xCloud, and now Xbox Cloud Gaming, I throw in Forza Horizon 4 because, well, it's, you know, the best racing game ever made, and it's just a lot of fun. And this one seems to be running really quite well. You know, it looks pretty good, and it seems like latency-wise, it actually handles quite smoothly. You know, just in terms of the movement and stuff. This actually might be one of the more impressive options I've had, and it seems like the resolution is also fairly clear too, which is nice. Yeah, this actually feels and plays really well. And it's such a beautiful game. It looks like we're in the snow season. If you're not familiar with Forza Horizon 4, it switches between different seasonal times, so you can see, you know, kind of the summer, the spring, the winter, and the fall, and they all have different styles to them, which is kind of nice. And it's just a game with like a ton of racing options. This one is almost kind of ideal to enjoy, you know, cloud gaming wise, at least I think so. Yeah, I'm definitely liking this. It seems to be the most responsive too out of the pile thus far. Because responsiveness is a big thing too, right? When you're playing games, at least I believe, in terms of like how you kind of connect and control and handle your vehicles. And you had trees. I think this was also the first game I tried on xCloud too, like the very first, when I was at E3 when they initially revealed this service. It's wild that it's been that long, but it's also really cool to see how far this has come. So yeah, we've shown off a bit of this one. Let's hop on to another game on our tour, I guess, just to show off a bunch of them in, you know, one kind of package, right? This is DayZ, another good test because, well, we play a lot of DayZ on the channel, so I assume people were going to want to see this one in action. And this is a multiplayer game, and one of the more heavier tests of that multiplayer game too, because we're in a custom like modded server with, you know, a big focus on gunplay and deathmatch scenarios. And it seems to, well, I don't know, be handling it decently. Keep in mind that DayZ doesn't run well in any matter of ways, usually, because this is going to use the Xbox One version of DayZ too, which is like a little bit iffier in comparison to like the Series X version of it. I gotta say, you know, a little bit of, you know, a lot of artifacting and stuff on this one, but it seems like the response on it is really decent. Like, for the most part, it actually seems quite perfect, except when we get those blurs and you can see the droppage and stuff. Let's see if we can get a gun. Seems like there's a gun shortage on this PvP match. Oh, well, there we go. So this thing never really spawns with ammo, so that doesn't help us. Yeah, this is another one of those go-to test games. .62? I don't know if the gun actually takes that or not. I don't know if those actually work for this. Oh, gotta be the point by 5 for it, isn't it? Oh, we'll run around this thing anyway to see what it does. That was close. And open for a good machine gun or something. Close the door on that guy. He's no big deal. Ooh, no, they got me. Yeah, this one's a little bit harder to judge, though, because you don't know how much of it is just the Xbox One performance of DayZ being and Cloud kind of interacting with it. I would assume, like, world rendering is the game, but any artifacting is going to be cloud-based. And any sort of latency is going to be cloud-based, because if there's one thing DayZ actually does excel at, is there's, like, really no latency between the interactions and stuff like that, except for, I guess, gun shooting and that, but they've worked on that. This is a little bit of DayZ in action, but you can see that, you know, it takes a bit more of a toll, at least on the visuals, because it's a multiplayer game on top of the streaming. Because you got to remember that's an addition on top of like whatever you're doing. Yeah, not too bad either. Let's jump into another title. Yeah, I gotta say, overall today, I've been pretty pleased with the different options and stuff that are present here. You know, game-wise, they've got a great library. And I think they're really onto something once they keep just, you know, further polishing this one. I think this has a lot of potential for being a new way to sort of experience these games, especially when we get the better blades in there and the loading increases a lot. I think that'll be definitely beneficial. Oh, can you actually go outside there? I've never shot out the glass in perfect dark. Is there like an invisible wall, I think? I jump out? No, I can't jump out. So I was like, what? I was like, how have I never noticed this? Nobody in this office. I think we already killed all those guys. Yeah, it's actually not a bad way to play this at all.
Why?